By now, you've all heard of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, the latest book published by Mama Jumbo Shrimp. It's more than just another wine book. The fully updated second edition was inspired by students of the Vinitaly International Academy and painstakingly reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. The benchmark producers feature is a particularly important aspect of this revised edition. The selection makes it easier for our readers to get their hands on a bottle of wine that truly represents a particular grape or region. To pick up a copy, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com. For all the super wine geeks out there, we have a special new series dedicated to you. We are reading excerpts from our new edition of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0. Wine lovers, tune in for your weekly fix only on Italian Wine Podcast. If you want to own a copy of this new must-read Italian wine textbook, just go to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com.
Sardinia. One of the secondary centers of domestication in the Western Mediterranean was most likely the island of Sardinia. The high presence of wild grapevines, whose grapes are sometimes used to make wine, and the richness of cultivated germplasm that includes hundreds of cultivars justifies the claim. In the study of the origins of Canonau, Grenache, a close kinship with some varieties from Armenia and Georgia has emerged, while Bovale Piccolo has a local origin. Semidano and Nuragus are two well-known Sardinian varieties that are not grown outside the island. The genetic relationship between them is not surprising, given their morphological similarity. Although inexplicable, molecular data demonstrates the role played by Semidano in the emergence of Bianchetta Marchigiana and Occhio Nero, two Marche varieties, as well as the Druppeggio, a variety shared by the neighboring regions of Tuscany, Lazio, and Umbria, testifying to its presence in central Italy in ancient times. In Sardinia, Eben, one of the major Iberian founding grape varieties, appeared as the parent of local varieties Monica, Nieddumannu, and Torbato. Vernaccia di Oristano is Spergola, which was introduced to Sardinia from Emilia, probably during medieval times. Conclusion. It is never easy for scientific discoveries to fit into wine communication, even though these topics offer fascinating narratives of territory and wine. However, there is one research topic that overcomes these difficulties, and that is the study of genetics in relation to the genealogy of grape varieties. This should not come as a surprise, as it forms part of our need to understand the history and origins of the species, and it links to ancient civilizations and great historical migrations. This narrative, using the findings of genetics, the DNA mystique, offers continuing avenues of knowledge for the refinement of our understanding. According to recent research, Sangiovese has been the parent, then offspring, and the parent again of Ciliegiolo. This is not due to uncertainty on the part of the scientists, but because the path of science, the process necessary to achieve true knowledge of nature, is like that. Research on the parentage of grape varieties tells us much more than just great biological biodiversity. It also highlights the need for a much broader cultural approach to understanding these concepts. Biotechnologists, ampelographers, agronomists, historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists must work together to reconstruct the routes, migration flows, and contaminations of grape varieties that we now consider native, but which in more recent times have traveled with humans. In order to reconstruct the history of our vines and have data to process, it is necessary that the hypothetical parents and ancestors, even if almost extinct, must be collected for analysis in collections of viticultural germplasm. the management of which is often disregarded by institutions because of the costs involved. Knowledge of the past and what our ancestors did, transporting, crossing, and selecting the grape varieties we know today, and thus laying the foundation for modern viticulture, should make us think about the future of creating new varieties. The results of this research have allowed us to outline the main lines of the cultivar movement affecting the Italian peninsula. An important genetic contribution arrives in southern Italy from the southern Balkan area, mainly Greece. Through the introduction of founders such as Visparola and Acladi, Pergolese from Tivoli, to which are added Moscato Bianco and Zibibbo, Moscato di Alessandria. And from the Eastern Balkans came Bombino Bianco.
Italian Wine Podcast, part of the Mama Jumbo Shrimp family.
In the opposite direction, from Italy to the Iberian Peninsula, is the migration, followed by local hybridization of Priebianc Valdostano, and also as Agostenga from northern Italy to central Spain. From Central Europe to northern Italy, the genetic contribution of Heunisch Weiss, Gouais Blanc, in the formation of Ribolla Gialla and Schiava, Rossara. Gouais Blanc, one of the main ancestors of French grape varieties, has long been present in many places in northern Italy under various synonyms, Liseire, Preveiral, and Lisora, and contributed to the formation of grape varieties still grown in Italy, such as Ribolla. Dioiciousness and subsequent cross-fertilization in wild grapevines have produced a high level of heterozygosity, the condition of having two different alleles at a locus, an essential condition of survival from this species. This heterozygosity has also remained very high due to the models of agamic multiplication and is the basis of the high genetic variability that in grapevines, contrary to other species subject to decline, has increased over time due to intense varietal circulation that has marked their genetic structure. A common characteristic of many European founder vines, including Marufo, Heben, Corna Alba, Malvasia aromatica di Parma, and Termarina, is that they have female flowers and are sometimes stable grapes. This is one of the reasons why these varieties fill the role of mother vines. Dioecia is a phenotypic trait that characterizes the oldest vines for which domestication from the wild state that prefers hermaphroditism has not led to this result. In addition, the progeny of a female plant derived only from crossing is less prone to inbreeding depression or reduced biological fitness. It can also be surmised that, in creating new vines, ancient winemakers cultivated female varieties because of the ease that they had of crossing them without having to deprive them of male gametes, and because they were always close to home and therefore easy to observe. Pedigree research has shown that spontaneous crossing has been the main strategy for the emergence of new varieties, while very few cultivars derive from self-pollination, highlighting the fact that vine fertilization is not only cleistogamous, but can also occur through anemophilous and entomophilous pollination. Pedigree reconstruction, together with the identification of the main ancestors of traditional Italian cultivars and closely related varieties, is also considered of great value for the purpose of their enological and viticultural enhancement. Indeed, this information has a particular appeal for wine communication, for storytelling, and for exploring the relationship with terroir. From a marketing point of view, this is a particular strength of Italian wine, which offers the global market a vast range of unique and inimitable products that are deeply rooted in the land.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, Cin Cin.